Hi. I'm starting this live stream a little early. Is anybody there? I don't know. But I've checked everything just about. And, I'm an old man and this is not easy. So I'm checking the focus here. Let me see this. That's about as good as it goes there. I'm using a Nikon D750 to film this. And I've got to learn to look into this lens instead of down here to this laptop. And otherwise it makes it kind of screwy looking. What else? The volume levels. I hope the volume levels are okay. I have them adjusted, and you might have to turn up yours a little bit. Or turn it down. I don't know. So here we go. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done that. Go back. Here we are. Are we back? Uh-oh. That's playing it. Here we are. Are we back? Uh-oh. That's playing it. Here we are. Are we back? All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. I touched something. I don't know what I did, so. It says we're live streaming. So I'm going to stop this, and then we'll start up again. Hi. Looks like we're on the air. I'm not sure if we are or not. Yeah. This is all so complicated. All right, I'm starting a little early, and what is it? It's 12:35, so that's about 25 minutes early. So many of you might be able to see this as it records for YouTube. But here we go. Okay, I've always wanted to live stream, and to do that, you need a software that will get you there. It will get you to be able to go live and to see the chats where people ask questions and make comments or even just say hello. And that's what I'm doing. I'm learning the software, and it's called OBS. It's Open Broadcast Software, OBS software, and it's free on the internet. You just download it and then watch a bunch of tutorials on YouTube on how to do it. And it is no easy thing. Syncing your lips to your sound to each other, that's hard. The lighting, that's hard. Getting the focus correct. And then you have to go to the platform that you're going to stream to. In this case, it's YouTube. I go to YouTube, and I must get a stream key. So I go to my channel, and I go to the little camera icon, click on that, and then I go into the live. And then once you're in live, then you start having your choices. And what you do is you look down, and there's a thing on the lower left-hand corner called a stream key. You got to copy that. So you copy that and then go back to your OBS software, and in your settings where it's the stream settings, then you paste in your stream key. Now, in order to see the chats, what people are saying to you, what you have to do is you have to go back to YouTube, see the chat window, and then copy that chat window, and then go back to OBS software, and you got to drop it in. Each one area of the OBS software, there's a screen, then you got scenes, sources, audio mixer, scene transition, and controls. Those are all called docks. And the chat window is just another dock. So you take the dock and you fit it in over on your, for me, I'm doing it on the right hand side. And that dock is where you're going to see all of your chats and all of your comments. So it's also very complicated, but if you were sitting here with me, okay, I could show you in 10 minutes, and it's not that bad. But it's a process that a 77-year-old man without help is having a hard time with. Okay, now my purpose in doing this is so, like Zoom. If you use Zoom, everybody's got to be a member of Zoom. But if you live stream onto YouTube, everybody in the world can use YouTube, and so it's much better. That's the reason I'm doing it. In that way, then I can speak to Nina's family in the Philippines and even in Spain. And, I know people in Portugal and England and Germany, the Middle East, all around the world, Japan. Geez, I got a great friend in northern Japan. I know a guy in southern Japan, he's an American that lives there. Then there's, of course, her family, and then my family in Arizona, my son Dan and his wife Melissa and the 2 kids. And then there's my daughter, who may as well be a billion miles away. We don't see each other that much. She lives up in Macomb. But in any case, I want to use streaming as a method where we can maintain contact. And then at other times, there are things like with boxing. As you know, I'm a photographer at Professional Boxing. And there are so many people you meet through boxing. They're all so great people. The promoter, Carlos Linas, this guy is outstanding. He's been doing things in this city with boxing longer than any other promoter, I don't think. And he's allowed me to go in and shoot ringside and get the shots I need for the newspaper I shoot for, and I shoot for the Latino Press or Latino Detroit. And that's a really big help, he's been so helpful in every corner I turn. Then there are the judges that you meet, and then there are the referees, and then the timekeeper, and then the state officials, and everyone just down the line is wonderful. And then you get to know the boxers, and there's a lot of boxers that tune into my channel. So we may get some of those people tuning in and saying something. So you'll have to understand that I've been around professional boxing since 1979 when I started with Dr. Lorenz. Dr. Lorenz was the team physician for the Kronk boxing team. And I walked in there, and all of a sudden, I think on day one, I met Thomas Hearns, I didn't know who he was. I really didn't follow boxing, but I sure started following it after that. So I know a lot of the boxers from the old Kronk team and Emmanuel Stewart and all the people that were around the fights then, and many of them are still around today. For instance, Milton McCrory is still teaching boxing to young people out in Westland. He's doing a remarkable job out there with Kronk. Emmanuel Stewart's daughter, Sylvia, she's still very active with the Kronk team. And, it's just a large periphery of people that have been so wonderful in my life. And then there are the boxers themselves. Nowadays, you haven't heard a lot of these people, but if you go to the fights, if you check them out, you're going to start following them too. There are some outstanding young boxers, and there's some bad ones too, and not all matches are the greatest thing in the world, but everybody has to start somewhere. And Carlos Linas, he provides the platform for these guys to get their start in pro boxing. So bravo to him. I also have the opportunity to know Frank Garza. Frank Garza is a professional boxing referee, or I should say was. He just retired. And he's a Hall of Fame boxing referee. Not a lot of those around in the city of Detroit. And Frank also lives about a mile and a half from my house. So we know each other. We get along well. We do things together. He's a sports writer for Latino Press, and I shoot for him. And, we have so many things in common. He likes photography. He even goes with me on photo shoots at different parties for the Filipino American community. And so, again, more people. Then there's the family involvement here in the city. My niece Erin, she lives out at King Road in Middle Belt area, and then my nephew Jeffrey, he lives down on Grosse Ile, and my sister still lives on Grosse Ile with her husband Bob. And thank you, Bob, for taking care of my sister. Bob's a terrific guy, always has been, a stand-up guy. And so that's what I'm telling you is the video. I don't monetize my channel. I'm a 100% disabled veteran, and I can't accept money because then I wouldn't be disabled. I would be working and everything. So anyway, I don't accept money. I do photography and I do the YouTube channel for fun, relaxation, and for communication. And also, whenever I do it for free, nobody can complain, can they? That's all right. Free's a pretty good price. So that's the reason I'm doing it. Now, why YouTube? YouTube is a platform that virtually everyone knows about. Not everyone has a channel there, but they can all go on YouTube and look up anything and see it no matter where they are in the world. Okay, so that's the reason I'm using YouTube. It's the most popular platform for presenting videos. And you see, some platforms, like in Facebook Messenger, you can only put a video in there that is 25 megabytes. It's a very small, maybe 30 seconds long, okay? You can't load anything, a video, to an email, and because of the same size restriction. You can use other things like WeTransfer and everything, but it's much easier with YouTube. You just load your video up there, and then everybody can see it. They can leave comments. You can reply back to them, and it's great. Now, if you're going to monetize your channel, first of all, you need 1,000 subscribers. I only have like 450. I don't need any more than that. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. Maybe one day I'll hit 1,000. Who knows? But you need 1,000 subscribers and you need at least 4,000 minutes of view time each month. 4,000 minutes, if you have 1,000 subscribers, is not hard. If you do a 10-minute video, what's, 1,000 times 10 minutes, that's just one video. Okay, so if you do an hour-long video, then you get more view time. So that's what you need to monetize. You need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 minutes of view time. I don't have that. I have the minutes of view time, but I don't have the 1,000 subscribers, nor do I need them. Okay. Now, let's talk about photography. I got into photography really when I was in the Army. When I was over in Japan, I bought a Asahi Pentax, or Pentax. I don't know how you say it, but it was a very good. It was an SLR. It's a single lens reflex. So I put some black and white film in it. It was 1967, all right. So then I went around shooting with it, and then I went to the photo lab on post and I learned how to develop my film and then put it in the enlarger and then make prints and all of that. But that's where I got my start with photography. And I liked it. It was a lot of fun. And then what happened was, years later, after I got out of the Army and got married and had a family, photography was way too expensive for me. 36 pictures to a roll, and then you had to have them developed and printed. It was pretty expensive, and so I just kind of tossed that to the wayside. Long around, I think 2005 or 2007. No, maybe it was later than that. I picked up a DSLR. That's a digital single lens reflex, and I always wanted a Nikon, and I got one and I loved it. It was a little crop sensor camera. A crop sensor means, you know what a 35 millimeter slide looks like? Well, the sensor on a crop sensor camera is half the size of a 35 millimeter slide. A full frame camera is the entire size of a 35 millimeter size slide, approximately. Okay, so the bigger the sensor, the more pixels there are, and the better quality pictures you can get, supposedly. It depends on the photographer and what you're shooting and how you're shooting. But anyway, I got into photography again with digital, and I said, wow, this is great. I can shoot all the pictures I want. Great. And I did. I was shooting hundreds of pictures a day, anything, drops of water falling into a glass of water, It was fun, okay? Then I started moving into doing portraits of people, and I made a little studio down in my basement. And it's a small studio, and it's not very fancy, but it has 3 walls. I can use a green screen. In other words, that allows me to remove the background and just have me in it or the person in it. And then I can change the background to put them anywhere they want to be, sitting in the Oval Office, wherever, Then I have a black wall. In that wall I use, it's a flat black wall, and I can use that for moodier portraits, very sensitive stuff. And then I have a white wall, more for like business portraits and things like that. So I have 3 walls that I can shoot to for portraits in my studio. In Michigan, there's not a lot of mountains around where I live. And Mount Trashmore, that's a mountain built of trash near me, but other than that, there is not a hill or anything, so there's not a lot of landscape photography to do. If you want to go into the city of Detroit and shoot city shots, I'll be honest with you. Shooting in the city of Detroit is fraught with danger. Okay, walking around with an expensive camera is kind of like an invitation to get mugged. You know what I'm saying? So I do it from time to time, but I don't do it a lot. So I don't do a lot of landscape photography. When it comes to children, me and kids don't get along that well with the camera. Okay, so I shy away from shooting pictures of children, and that also brings up the subject of liability. You go taking pictures of kids, and you can get in a lot of trouble. People will accuse you of God knows what. Okay, I just stay away from kids. Females. Um, Females, I get invitations by ladies all the time, and most of them are Asian ladies because that's the people we hang around with: Filipinos, Japanese, Koreans, that kind of thing, Thailanders. And sometimes I get requests to do lingerie shoots. I can do those. I've done them, but I don't do nudes. The nudes, there's just too much skin, and then that liability thing pops up again. I got afraid of liability so much that I incorporated in the state of Michigan. So my LLC is called MoPhoto Detroit LLC. So anything I do is in the name of MoPhoto Detroit LLC. So you can sue the corporation and it has nothing, but you're not going to be able to get to me personally. And I hope I never do anything that would cause someone to sue me. I recently did a beauty pageant, and I had all the contestants sign waivers, liability waivers. Gotta do it. I mean, it's a modern world. People will sue you at the drop of a hat. So, you know, it's just a modern world with photography, but I still love it. It gives pleasure when you take a picture of a lady, let's say a maturing lady, let's say she's 65 years old, and if you remove the wrinkles and you get her in her best pose and make her look good, she's happy, okay? And because she's happy, that makes me happy. I like that very much. Uh, my wife likes it because I can take pictures of her family and everything and do the same thing. It's just very pleasing when you take pictures of someone and they like what you did for them. And then they love the price of paying no money. To get the pictures to them, because I shoot in a very large file format now, I no longer use a crop sensor camera. I use a full frame. And it's not only just a full frame, it's a big one. Okay, it's a Nikon D850, and it has a 45 megapixel sensor. The files are huge, so it's very hard to send pictures to subjects. So what I do is I usually put their pictures on a USB thumb drive, and then they come and pick them up after when the pictures are ready. So that's how it works. You take the pictures, then you got to process them, and then you got to get the pictures to the people. I don't print them and I don't sell them. Don't do anything like that. So, okay, on my channel, and we're getting near the start time here, I don't do any politics, but I'll tell you straight out, I am a Republican. I'm a conservative. I am not a fan of Donald Trump. I mean, his personality is simply off-putting, But I did like the job he did while he was in office. I mean, he's a big old pompous guy, but he did a good job, and the economy was good, and he was doing things for the borders that I like. And I'm a conservative, and that goes in my views. But I'm not going to argue politics with anyone on this channel. Never will. Your views are your views, and to each his own. When it comes to religion, gosh, I get people sending me prayers and people, telling me to read this verse in the Bible. Listen, I've read the Bible cover to cover, both of them, the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I've read the Koran too, okay? I was in Japan. I saw people over there that were of the Shinto religion and Buddhist religion. I saw people in Southeast Asia that were Buddhist. And, when they got up in the morning, they yawned and scratched their belly just like I do. My mother said that anyone that wasn't a member of her church, they were going to hell. Simple as that. And I said, everybody, Mom? She said, everyone except the children, son. So if you weren't a member of the Church of Christ, or aren't, in my mother's opinion, you were going to hell. I just couldn't see that. There are 4,200 different religions on this earth. I am simply not smart enough to tell you which one is the correct, the one and only religion. I just can't do it. So I'm not going to discuss it. I'm not going to entertain any religious crapple in the future, That's the way I look at it, because it's all your belief. And whatever you believe in, that's fine with me. I don't care. And your sexuality. I don't care if you're gay or if you're heterosexual, I'm a heterosexual. That's just the way it is. Women have always been the thing that I love, and I can't understand being gay, but you can call me a homophobe. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I don't care. Your choice is up to you, but I don't care to see it. I don't watch X-rated videos on anywhere anyway, so I don't want to see your sexuality. So that's religion, sexuality, and politics. What else? Photography and boxing. All right, now let's talk about food. Food is always a good subject to talk about. I'm an enjoying a guy who likes to eat far too much. Oh, yeah. But I don't enjoy certain types of food. I like what I'm used to, like anyone. Let's say you're Filipino. This is the most common thing around me, is that Filipino food is something you got to grow up with and like. If you go around the city of Detroit, you don't see a lot of Filipino restaurants. I don't know of any, as a matter of fact, that are ongoing, but there may be some. I don't know. But to me, it's an acquired taste. Like I can go eat Chinese food once every 3 months. Japanese food maybe once every 6 months. I just don't have a chance to go around. But I will go to a Filipino function, they'll say, "Here, help yourself to this food. We got a big thing here, big spread." Sorry, folks, it just doesn't appeal to me. The taste is not something I grew up with. I can eat those little skewers on a barbecue skewers. I can have one egg roll, maybe one Filipino type egg roll, not a Chinese egg roll. And I might have 2 ounces of pancit, and that's about it, folks. Don't expect me to like your food. It's something you grew up with. It's something you like. I like American food. And that's that. And what is American food? Yeah, well, it's a conglomeration, that's for sure. It's a multinational thing. I mean, I eat lasagna and pizza and, sauerkraut and sausage. But I don't eat a lot of Asian food. I just don't. So I don't know what else to tell you. It is 1 o'clock now, and there is nobody in the chat room, so I don't expect anyone to be coming forthright. If they were going to watch, they would have been here already, or else my chat is not working. Let me check that. I'll just type hello to myself. And I typed hello, and there it is. But there is nobody else. So nobody else chatting with MoPhoto Detroit, and that's fine. This is only a test anyway. Uh-oh, just ruined the focus. There we go. So this is, if you just tuned in, you can replay it. And if you haven't tuned in, maybe you'll watch the recording on my channel. So for now, I'm going to sign off because there's nobody here. And I will see you guys later. And to me, I hope this is a successful test. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.